Before Josh Duggar was found guilty of child pornography and given a 151-month prison term, he started preying on members of his own family. Josh abused 5 young girls while still in his teens, including 4 of his sisters. The girls felt afraid in their own home since Josh's parents, Bob and Michelle Duggar, did nothing to stop additional assaults, as if the attacks themselves weren't enough to make them feel dangerous. They actually took tremendous pains to shield their son from any form of legal repercussions. Josh's sister, Jill Duggar, was one of his first victims. Jill previously disclosed that she earned pitiful compensation for her involvement on the reality shows produced by her family. Jill and her husband Derick Dillard are now speaking about the pain she experienced as a result of her brother's predatory behavior in a way that has never been done before. Jill recently told People magazine, "It's still incredibly upsetting. This is a safe place," they were assured as children. "Your words are secure." And it wasn't true, added Derick. After Josh's legal records were made public, Jill and her sisters filed a lawsuit against their local police force, but the 32-year-old says she doesn't anticipate getting any relief on that front. "Josh's sentence, according to our attorney, was essentially the final straw in our case," Jill said. Jill said she occasionally becomes really angry at her brother, but she doesn't necessarily think that's a terrible thing. "People immediately say, 'Oh, anger is bad,' but I say, 'No, anger can be a good thing. Particularly when it inspires you to support people finding their voice,'" Jill said. "You simply have to say, 'You know what? We will continue to fight for victims' rights through Derick's line of work even if this system failed us as victims and our desire for justice, and even though all of these people simply utilized and abused their positions without being held accountable. We want to safeguard children and make sure we can follow through on our assurances that this is a safe place when we say it." Jill continued by saying that even though it was difficult, she felt compelled to speak out on behalf of other people who had been wronged. "According to Jill, we hope and pray that going forward, nobody ever has to be in that position that we were in. I knew that in writing the book, we would have to address some of that, but I didn't want to go and rehash everything in detail because it is a very sensitive place for me," she added. After their initial plea for a new trial was turned down, Josh's attorneys, as we previously reported this week, have started a new effort to appeal his sentence. Last week, Josh's attorneys won a small triumph when they were granted a 14-day extension on the deadline for submitting a new petition. Josh still has little chance of getting a new trial, and even less chance of getting out without a conviction. But his numerous victims are sure to become anxious at the mere thought of it.